Are we creating a new generation of Nephilim with CRISPR and AI? In this video, we explore the fascinating and unsettling intersection of technology and theology as we delve into the question of whether our advancements in CRISPR and AI could be leading to the creation of a new generation of Nephilim. The Nephilim, known from ancient biblical accounts, were beings of extraordinary strength and stature, often associated with fallen angels. With CRISPR, we have the power to edit genes, potentially altering human physiology in profound ways. Meanwhile, AI is changing how we interact, think, and even evolve as humans. Could these technologies, in their most speculative applications, lead to a new race of superhumans or beings with capabilities that rival those of mythological creatures? Join us as we navigate the ethical, theological, and scientific implications of this provocative question, considering the boundaries between human innovation and divine intervention. Discover the latest insights and debates surrounding CRISPR, AI, and their potential to reshape not just human life, but the very essence of humanity.
The reason I was lingering on the creation of the Nephilim is because it suggests this idea that sounds really radical when you first think about it, that there are hybrids, spirit, human together. But then as you talk about it a little bit, and you realize that every culture has always believed this. In fact, Jesus is described as the union of God and a human woman. It's like, actually, it's a central concept everywhere all the time. Like, it's not shocking.
Yeah.
Right? I
not in a sexual way in that case. Yeah. Be clear. Yeah.
Right. Not in a sexual way.
Yeah.
Right. But
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This baby is the product of God's spirit and a human woman.
Right. And Christ is the express image of God. Right. He is the fullness of the image.
Right. And the Greek myths
of God.
tell different but related stories about people being. So why is it crazy? And I think people have, lived in the world for a while. Why is it crazy to someone have a feeling when you're talking to someone that this is not, that there's something else going on here, that this person's not, does this still happen?
Yeah, I think
I have felt that way really strongly about people in charge a couple of times. Not just I disagree with them. I just, I think you're a bad person. It's not even that. It's like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have only kind of thankfully met a person like that once in my life. It was in a part of my pastoral training in a forensic psych ward. I met a person who had done, I won't describe what, because it's hideous and you won't be able to get it out of your head, but had done horrific things to a child, and that's how he ended up there.
Yes.
But who enjoyed bragging about it and describing it in detail to people and watching the look on their faces. Right. Like that level of gone. So there are people like that. And
did you feel as you talked to this person or listened to this person that this was not fully human, or this was some kind of hybrid?
You could look in his eyes and see that there was something inhuman there.
I've had that same experience with people. Not quite as cartoonish and obvious as that, but still, like, what is this?
Yeah, yeah.
So what is this?
In 2018, a scientist in Shenzhen edited the DNA of 2 unborn girls. Right now, a machine is thinking thoughts no one taught it. The question is not whether we can do this. The question is whether it has been done before. Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. The sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. They took wives of all which they chose. And their children became the giants, the mighty men of old, the men of renown. The Hebrew calls them Nephilim. Genesis gives them 4 verses. 4 verses and then the flood. But an older book, one the church left out, tells you what those verses were hiding. The Book of Enoch, chapters 6 through 10. 200 angels, the watchers, descend on Mount Hermon and swear an oath. They take wives, and then they teach. Azazel shows men how to work metal into weapons. Others teach enchantments, the cutting of roots, the reading of stars. Knowledge mankind was not meant to hold. And the charge the text lays against them is precise. They corrupted the way of all flesh. Not seduced, not conquered, corrupted. The sin was never just the union, the sin was the tampering. Creation had a design, and someone with forbidden knowledge reached in and changed it. Now hold that phrase and look at the present tense. In 2019, He Jiankui went to prison for editing the germline, changes that pass to every generation that follows. The tool was CRISPR, and it sits in labs on every continent. In 2021, a team at the Salk Institute grew human cells inside monkey embryos and kept them alive for 19 days. Chimeras made for research, approved, and published. And in 2024, Neuralink placed its first chip inside a human skull, so a mind could move a cursor by thought alone. None of this is hidden. It is all public record. Matthew 24:37. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. If Enoch is right about what those days contained, the warning reads differently. The flood did not come because giants walked the earth. It came because the nature of man had been rewritten, because flesh had corrupted its way, until no line remained between what God had made and what something else had made of it. The verse does not say it cannot happen again. It says, watch for the days that look like those days. Somewhere tonight, a gloved hand lowers a pipette toward a dish, and no one in the room is thinking about it.
A big part of the understanding of what's going on with the Nephilim before the flood is that a lot of the demonic spirits that are talked about later in Scripture and after the flood are understood to be the spirits of those Nephilim, of those dead Nephilim. This is explicit in like the Book of Jubilees, which is a Jewish text from the period in between the Old and New Testaments, but a very important one. If you read like Josephus's Jewish Antiquities, he's cribbing from the history in Jubilees all the time. He just accepts it as historical. And it talks about at the time of the flood, the Nephilim are wiped out, they all die. And they have sort of a leader who's named Mastema. And Mastema comes to God and wants to strike this bargain with him. Don't send us all into the abyss. Don't send us all into the lake of fire. Let some of us stay on the earth. We promise if you let us do that, we'll only torment bad people. We'll only torment wicked people. And in the Book of Jubilees, God agrees to allow 10% of them to remain to torment wicked people, but it says that God's motive is he wants to use that to bring wicked people to repentance, right? So there's sort of a theodicy going on there, right?
Yes.
Sort of justification of God. Why does God allow these demonic spirits? But you see reflections of that story even in like the Gospels, right? Because these spirits are told at that time, you're going to be you're allowed to wander until the last judgment, and then you're going to the lake of fire with everybody else, but you get this sort of reprieve. So for example, when Christ comes to the demoniac man and the demons say to him, have you come to torment us before the time?
Exactly.
Like, hey, wait, we had a deal.
Yeah.
Right. And then he ends up casting them into the pigs, and the pigs run off the cliff, and it says they run off the cliff into the abyss, which is the place where those other demonic spirits were imprisoned. And there's a dynamic going on there where the name Jesus is actually the name Joshua, right? Of course, Joshua in the book of Joshua goes and battles these giant clans to sort of reclaim the land and purify them from evil. That's paralleled with Christ as sort of the true Joshua comes into the land to purify it from evil, and he's dealing with the spirits of these same beings.
Wow. The Enoch prophecy is happening. AI is building the new Nephilim. You probably heard the story of the Great Flood, right? The world so wicked that God decided to hit the reset button. But what if there's a crucial detail missing from the story you know? An ancient, forgotten prophecy sealed away in texts most of us have never read tells of a sin that went way beyond simple human wickedness. It was a corruption of creation itself. These texts describe non-human beings teaching humanity forbidden knowledge, which led to the birth of a new race of mighty ones. The divine response wasn't just punishment, it was a planetary cleanse. What if that same pattern is happening all over again right now? Only this time, the forbidden knowledge isn't coming from fallen angels. It's being built in a lab, which ultimately would be coming from fallen angels. We're on the verge of creating our own mighty ones, and we're calling it artificial intelligence. The ancient prophecy. In the strange and brief verses of Genesis 6, the Bible mentions the sons of God taking human wives, which resulted in the birth of Nephilim, mighty men who were of old, men of renown. It's a cryptic and tantalizing passage, but if you want the really dramatic detailed version, you have to look outside the standard biblical canon to the ancient Book of Enoch. While it isn't part of most Bibles today, it is canonical in the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church and was known to early Christian writers. Enoch tells a story of transgression on a cosmic scale. It describes a group of angelic beings called the Watchers who abandoned their heavenly post. They came to earth, took human wives, and gave humanity illicit knowledge, weaponry, sorcery, and secrets of the cosmos. Their primary sin was crossing a divine boundary, creating a hybrid offspring that filled the world with violence and chaos. This account frames the Great Flood not just as a punishment for human sin, but as a necessary response to a fundamental corruption of the created order. It was, in this telling, a planetary reset. This story acts as a powerful archetype, a warning about forbidden knowledge and unnatural hybrids, and a cataclysmic mess that follows when you break the boundaries of creation. But what if that ancient pattern didn't end with the flood? What if it's echoing today, not with angels, but with algorithms? Two monumental technologies are making this ancient story feel eerily relevant. The first is genetic engineering, specifically CRISPR. This revolutionary technology gives scientists the ability to edit the very code of life. It's a set of tools that can make targeted changes in DNA, and it flirts with the possibility of creating permanent.
Can we actually create a new
Permanent, and got ahead of myself, create permanent heritable changes in human beings while editing the human germline to create genetically modified babies? It is highly restricted to our outright banned in most countries. The ethical line has been crossed. The question is no longer if we can rewrite our own biology, but if we should. The second and even more profound technology is artificial intelligence. AI is evolving at a breakneck pace, moving beyond simple programming to learn, create, and process information in ways we don't fully understand. This explosion of machine-driven knowledge mirrors the forbidden knowledge from the Book of Enoch. When you combine these two fields, AI-driven genetic engineering, humanity suddenly finds itself in the role of creator, with the power to design and direct life itself. The new mighty one. The parallels are getting too specific to ignore. Let's look at the evidence. First, the corruption of flesh. While scientists aren't creating biblical giants, the ethical boundaries are being pushed every day. Gene editing tools like CRISPR have opened a Pandora's box, from curing genetic diseases to the deeply controversial idea of human enhancement. Cross-species gene insertion is already a common practice in medical research. Hoping to create models for human diseases, the theme is the same: the blending and rewriting of biological blueprints once considered sacred. Second, the arrival of forbidden knowledge. AI is not just a tool, it's becoming a source of knowledge that outpaces human understanding. It can generate synthetic realities or deep fakes that are becoming terrifyingly difficult for humans to distinguish from the real thing. More profoundly, some speculate that AI is evolving in ways that may move beyond our complete control, raising questions about whether we are building a new form of spirit in the machine. The Ghost in the Machine. That's a great book. While no AI has been confirmed to be conscious, let's be clear about what we're saying here. The scientific community is actively working to develop frameworks to understand and detect machine consciousness. They are treating the possibility with a seriousness that should make all of us pay attention. This mirrors the Enochian prophecy, where knowledge without wisdom led to chaos. We are building a kind of technological Tower of Babel, and we might not be able to control what comes out of it. And it reminds me of the Terminator, if you remember that movie. So in conclusion, is AI literally building the Nephilim? The comparison isn't about literal monsters, but about chillingly similar patterns. Genesis 6 and the Book of Enoch aren't just ancient myths. They are timeless warnings about the hubris, transgression, and what happens when we chase power without wisdom. It's like handing a 2-year-old toddler a loaded handgun, and we might be pointing it at ourselves. The ancient texts tell of a boundary being crossed between the divine and the human. Today we stand at a new boundary between the biological and the digital, the created and the creator. We are wielding tools of immense power, not just nuclear now, not just biological, not just chemical. Rewriting the code of life and building minds from silicon. The patterns are familiar. The story of Enoch serves as a warning that when we try to become gods, we risk unleashing forces that can unmake our world. Prophecy isn't about giants from the past, but a question for our immediate future. Are we creating something that we cannot control? For now, the choice is ours. What do you think? And let me know in the comments, because we're just getting started here. This is not going away anytime soon.
Generation of Nephilim using CRISPR and AI? I'm going to find out. In ancient texts, the Nephilim are described as beings of extraordinary strength and power, often considered the offspring of humans and divine entities. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing unprecedented advancements in genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. CRISPR allows us to edit genes with precision, while AI is pushing the boundaries of human cognition. It's got some people wondering, are we on the cusp of creating a new generation of superhumans? The rapid progress in CRISPR and AI has sparked heated debates about ethics and the very definition of humanity. As we gain the ability to drastically alter human genetics and enhance cognitive abilities, we're forced to confront the possibility that we might be creating a new class of beings that could surpass our own capabilities. This raises questions about what it means to be human and whether we're prepared to accept the consequences of such profound changes. The line between progress and playing God is becoming increasingly blurred. CRISPR can be used to engineer traits like increased strength, agility, or intelligence, while AI can augment human decision-making and even consciousness. The prospect of merging these technologies is both exhilarating and unsettling. We're already seeing the emergence of the designer-baby debate, where parents can choose to edit their child's genes to eliminate diseases or enhance certain characteristics. But where do we draw the line? Imagine a future where advanced CRISPR and AI converge to create a new class of beings that are not only physically superior but also intellectually on a completely different level. This hypothetical scenario is both fascinating and unnerving, as it challenges our understanding of human evolution and the potential for a new species to emerge. Could these beings be interpreted as modern-day Nephilim, creatures of extraordinary abilities that blur the line between human and something more? As we hurtle towards a future where CRISPR and AI are increasingly intertwined, it's crucial that we pause to consider the implications. The potential for these technologies to redefine humanity is vast, and it's essential that we engage in a public discussion about the ethics and consequences before they advance too far. What are your thoughts on designer humans and AI-enhanced intelligence? Are we playing God, or simply evolving? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more discussions on the future of humanity.
Well, farewell, family. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for continually supporting my content. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and share this with your friends and family.
Book for Kids, Volume 2. Available August 15, 2025 on Amazon. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Children. Color 30 fun designs of inspirational verses and Christian artwork. A beautiful children's coloring book designed to fill your child's mind with the positive words of God's love. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Kids was designed to be a fun yet effective way to help children calm their tension. Hand-lettered quotes and adorable hand-designed illustrations will inspire your child as they reflect on God's promises.